18 years. She is, I can honestly say, the love of my life. And Crystal does not speak in public ever. This is, Melanie was the same way last week. But she has a phenomenal story, things that God has done in her life. So I know your story. So just a question. Let's start with your dad. What happened with your dad as a young child? Speak up to the mic. There you go.
Well, I grew up without a father. When I was 4 years old, he was murdered. And
Okay. He was stabbed and he was murdered. So really, you never had a dad in essence.
Right.
So what about at this age after that happened? Kind of what happened to you?
well, there's 3 of us girls. I have 2 sisters. 2, they're older than I am. And my grandfather took us in, my grandma and grandpa, and they just took care of us, raised us. And then my grandmother, she had a stroke, and my grandpa was taking care of all 4 of us. And she just kept having strokes, and she passed away eventually, and then he was left with us 3 girls.
Okay. Where was your mom during all this? I mean, what was the situation there?
Well, when my mother had me, she, I guess, she had some complications whenever she was having me, and they actually had to revive her several different times, and I guess that led to, she had some medical issues after that, and
So she just kind of went her own way.
Yeah.
Just wasn't mentally able to.
yeah, it caused her to have some mental issues, and she was never there. I guess it caused her,
depression and
Yeah.
schizophrenia and things like that.
yeah, she had some major medical issues, and so she was never, after that happened, she just was never there for us. She never came around.
Okay, so you've grown up without mom and dad. You're in the house with your grandfather. He never whipped you, did he? I'm not saying that for a reason.
Notice you brought that out.
I was the youngest. I got whipped a lot. She never did say.
No.
But how long was it? How long did you live with your grandfather? And that was good, right? I mean,
Yeah, I had a great childhood. I really never even knew that I didn't have parents. I had my aunts and uncles and sisters, and everybody was there. But
So how long did you live with your grandpa?
until I was 13, 14,
Okay, and then what happened?
I made a decision that even though I didn't know my mom, I felt that I needed a mom, and so I got a hold of her and moved in with her, I guess whenever I was 13 years old.
Y'all were living in Oklahoma at the time.
Yes, and then she moved us to Alma.
Okay. So you stayed with her until
Until I was 16 years old.
and then what happened?
Well, on my 16th birthday, the day of my 16th birthday, the day had kind of gone past, and she had told me that she's going to go get me a birthday cake. Well, I was so excited because that was kind of a big deal. I mean, we didn't do a lot at her house. I just kind of, during that process of living with her, I stayed with many, many people. Some I didn't know, some I didn't know. I was just left at different people's houses, and different things like that. So I didn't spend a lot of time with her during that time. But on my 16th birthday, she was going to go get me a birthday cake, and I was so excited, and she left and never came back. I guess it was pretty late, and we figured out, okay, she left at 3 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. Okay, she's not coming back.
And your sisters were not there. This was just you
No.
and your stepdad. correct?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, because your sisters were moved out and everything. So what happened at that point?
Well, we figured out that she had went to Oklahoma. She had drove, and no one really knew where she was at. So we just kind of was looking for her, and come to find out that she had gone somewhere, not knowing where she was going. But she just finally, I guess it came out that that she wasn't coming back, that she had left me with my stepdad.
And then what happened with that?
He called my aunt, which I guess that's how it went about. I don't really know that for a fact, but so she shows up, and we're trying to figure out what's going to happen from here. She obviously didn't want to have anything to do with me, and from that point, my aunt took me on, my aunt and uncle both, and decided that it was, that they would raise me until I married Rodney, and treated me like their own. I mean, treated me just like nothing ever happened.
So you moved in with your aunt and uncle. You were 16, obviously, at that time. We start dating, we get married. Early on in our marriage, she was in the days for 2 or 3 years. She just couldn't believe she landed. So she doesn't remember a lot of that. But early on in our marriage, what are some of the things that or even before our marriage, it really doesn't matter, but what are some of the things that, because of your raising, even though your grandfather was there, your dad being gone and your mom being gone, what were some of the things that you dealt with as an individual, even when you lived with Bob and Darlene, your aunt and uncle, and then also during marriage? What are some things that you deal with?
I always felt like it was really hard for me to get close to people, because I always felt like they were going to leave me. And I dealt with a lot of anger issues. And I don't know, somehow to this day I still do. But I'm able to control it. I know that, God has helped me through a lot of it. He's helped me through the whole entire process. So I know that,
When did you come to know Christ? I guess I know we talked about this in the Oklahoma date or anything like that. But at what time did you know that you accepted Christ as your Savior?
well, even whenever I lived with my grandparents, they always had us in church. I'm Native American, and we went to Native American church. And so they spoke that language there. Didn't really understand what they were saying, but but at the age, I guess, 13 through 16, we started going to church, and that's where, sometime in there, I really asked the Lord into my heart.
So, I know I've shared with my testimony of my addiction, and wasn't going to ask you this, but I'm going to. In all seriousness, I've never asked you this, but why did you stay with me? And kind of a joke, but not really. Because I think somebody needs to hear this morning, but through my addiction, and you're my biggest fan, I've always known that, and I cry even thinking about it, but through all of that with me, what made you stay?
Well, for one thing, I made that commitment whenever I married you. And through the whole process of everything that I've been through, God really taught me that you work through it. You don't give up.
Okay, so I'm supposed to give this emotional? Let's give Crystal a